A lot of exciting moves. It's definitely one of the more exciting times of the offseason. The NFL free agency, trades being made, things like that that are going to affect the upcoming season for sure, especially the drafts before that, and then the upcoming season, the movement of teams and things like that. So very excited to get into it. Uh, got a lot of headlines, especially. I mean, we could start off with just the biggest one, Max Crosby.
Volcano that people across the league were waiting for to blow, and it blew on Friday night.
What would have been the biggest trade of the offseason has gone left faster than a NASCAR race.
This is a wild story. Based on what they saw, the Ravens did not feel comfortable to pass him on that physical, which nullified the trade.
Obviously, we just found out that the trade that we thought was going to happen is being reversed now after a physical, or after concerns regarding his physical, for the Ravens. They had some negative results from that. So I guess they backed out of the trade. It was enough. It was enough for the Ravens to get spooked. They were spooked out of the trade. Probably the biggest trade that was made up to this point. Everybody was talking about it, how this could, push the Ravens over that hump finally, and they were talking Super Bowl again already, and good thing for it was really good for Max Crosby as well. Finally getting out of the terrible Oakland Raiders franchise. But now that we see that it's not going through, it has fell through, and the Ravens went ahead and signed Trey Hendrickson instead, which is another really big splash. So I guess the Ravens they found a way to get their pass rusher either way.
And Trey Hendrickson reaches an agreement on a 4-year deal with the Ravens that will keep him in Baltimore. Now that leaves us as the new league year opens today.
So a lot going on there. We have some other players to go over as well. But Tom, let me know what you have to start it off with. Let me know what you think about the recent moves that's been going on, and let me get your take.
So as far as Max Crosby goes, honestly, I think that the Ravens kind of they wanted Max Crosby and they purposefully failed his physical because they wanted Trey Hendrickson even more. Because I think they went out and tried to get Max Crosby. They got Max Crosby, and then they're like, wait, we can still get Trey. So I think that they went out and they were like, oh, we can get a younger guy that hasn't had previous injuries the same way Max Crosby has. So I think the Ravens kind of pulled a little 180 on the Raiders, and they were because especially when you look at like the timeline, the Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Ravens. And then I think they went and they tried to get Max Crosby because that's what they thought that's the best they could do. Then they turn around and they're still talking to Trey Hendrickson, who, by the way, is a free agent. So I think they went and turned around and they go, well, we'd rather give less money to a free agent than a trade where we have to give up draft picks and also pay him more, um, just for him to be on the team. So I think the Ravens kind of calculated this. I don't think that I don't know the right words to explain it, but I think Trey Hendrickson is a better deal for the Ravens because there's no strings attached. Max Crosby, they had to trade for him. They had to give up picks. They had to sign him. Am I wrong? Was Max Crosby a free agent? Because I don't think he was.
No, not at all, Tom. Max Crosby just signed a super mega max deal just last season with the Raiders.
Right.
Most
Right.
years in
Yes.
biggest contract of any pass rusher. Well, other than Miles Garrett, but yeah.
Right. But yeah, so in my opinion, I think the Ravens kind of they were like, well, this gets us more bang for our buck because one, respectfully, he's probably just as good as Max Crosby. He's an amazing pass rusher. So I think the Ravens turned around. They realized, oh, we don't even need to trade. We can just sign this guy. And so as soon as they signed Trey Hendrickson, they cut the deal with Max Crosby because that benefits the Ravens more than, even though I mean, you could argue Max Crosby is probably a better pass rusher. You could argue that he's a better D end, but the what he comes with in terms of contract and what the Ravens would have to trade for him just is not worth the deal if you can get Trey Hendrickson just for a straight up contract. Um, so to me, I mean, I see what the Ravens are doing, but what they did was kind of dirty. Because now the Raiders, who were caught with their pants down after signing multiple free agents, assuming that they don't have to pay Max Crosby, is I don't know. It's I feel like there's a little dirty business going on, but what do you think about it, Faison?
No, I think that's a really sound analysis right there, Tom. Because yes, the Raiders definitely got caught with their pants down, as you said. Um, it was a real smooth trade at first. Kind of, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere. I'm sure some of the insiders had word, but for a lot of us fans, that was a really big surprise to see the Raiders trade their best player to the Ravens. And now that it's not going through and the Ravens have already replaced that signing, you would think like, okay, maybe they'll go back to talking about it, or maybe they'll other teams now will be vying for an opportunity to steal Max Crosby away or whatnot based on what the physical said. But the Ravens already went ahead and signed Trey Hendrickson. They said, all right, well, we got a backup option. Option number two, Trey Hendrickson. And yes, I think Trey Hendrickson could even be better. Not saying that he is talently. They're both very good pass rushers, as you said. I think Max Crosby might just be a little bit more scary, but I mean, if you put Trey Hendrickson on a better team like the Ravens, all of a sudden he might be even scarier because this guy was doing it solo dolo on the Bengals for multiple years now. Um, Basically the only defense that they had for 2-3 years. So you put him on the Ravens, who actually have some real guys on defense, and of course, we already know what they got on offense. This is starting to become a real scary contender. And not only that, but you keep him in division, which is just super scary for Cincinnati. Another bad day for Cincinnati. I don't know. We talked about it last offseason as well, Tom. The Bengals just continue to be the Bengals, the Bungles. I don't get it. You trade Trey Hendrickson in division. So now Trey Hendrickson is chasing Joe Burrow twice a year. Is
Hey man,
is that
I I know, I know, I know. That's insane. Like that's insane.
they were already making memes about it, Tom, when the Max Crosby one came in? You saw those memes where it was Miles Garrett, blanking on JJ Watt and Max Crosby, and they were all like standing behind Joe Burrow.
Well, so also Jamar Chase was on live stream
Saw that.
and he mentioned he got a text from Joe Burrow and he was like, God damn it. He was
He
like,
was crashing
fuck.
like fuck.
It's like, God damn it, bro. We traded our best defensive player to a team that plays us twice a year. What the fuck are we doing? Not that's not a quote from Jamar Chase, but that's basically what he said.
Right. No, Tom, I saw the video where he was already crashing out about Max Crosby coming over to the division. Now you
Oh,
trade away one of your best defensive players to a team that you're going to play twice a year. Now it's even worse, Tom.
right. Yeah, no, yeah, it was about. No, I think the video was about Max Crosby, but yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Now Max
I want to know what Jamar Chase said when they figured out. It's like, oh, actually, we're not getting Max Crosby. Actually, we're taking one of your best players, and they're on our team now. Like that would be insane. Like just being a quarterback, like what the fuck are we doing? It's like you
before
can't give this guy money. You can't keep him. You can't make him stay.
no
What are we doing?
before it was like it was bad. Max Crosby coming over. Okay, it's bad. That's scary. That's another scary defense we're gonna have to play twice a year. Now it's one of your players. Now it's personal. Now it's personal. You traded away our best defense player to the Ravens, who we're gonna have to play twice a year. Do the Bengals want to suck? Is it their goal to suck? I don't get it.
Well, I mean,
I really don't.
like, so like, you hear stories from former Bengals players where it's like, and then the NFL comes out and says it as well, where the Bengals have the worst practice facility of all time. They don't have an indoor practice facility, and they are in they're in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like, do you not understand? Like, maybe build a practice facility for people to practice inside? Like, is that such a crazy statement? And then they go on top of that, and then they also, like, the NFL rates them the worst at, like, strength and conditioning. Like the Bengals are terrible with that shit, and they got lucky. And it's like, and also they're keeping around their head coach, but you're gonna send your best player, arguably your best player. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are really good, but you're gonna send away the most consistently best player on your team. Does that make sense? It's
Best
like,
defense player for sure. On defense for sure.
oh, for sure, but it's like, but he is arguably the best player on that team over Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And if you want to say Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are the best two players on the team, well, he's definitely the third best.
Yeah.
And so you just send him away? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Like, why? What is the reason? I don't know, bro. I don't know. It blows my mind where it's like, Jesus Christ, give me your job and pay me the money that you pay them, and I could do a better job. It's insane where you're trying to build a team, and then you trade away your best defensive player. You have two really good players on offense. You can't, for some reason, you can't find a running back. For some reason, you can't find a wide receiver number two, and you can't find anybody else on defense. But yeah, we're going to send away our best defensive player.